wrong way.
Next up on our 2024-2025 CVC Winter Sports Media Day Tour is the Kirtland Hornets wrestling team. We've got head coach Dan Kissimmee. Dan, thanks for being here. Great to have you. Second year. I know last year was a bit of a rebuilding year for you. We talked last year, and you said it's coming. You've got some middle school kids coming up, that type of thing. Where are we at in year number 2?
Well, thanks for having us, Stephen, and you do an awesome job for the CVC, and you have been for so many years. We have Noah Connor here today. He's our captain, and we didn't want to artificially pick a captain last year. We wanted somebody who showed real leadership day to day in real situations where we needed leaders, and we did. It was a total rebuild. Scott Francis, Jim Pulowski, they had just such a great program. In the last 32 years, 28 of the last 32 years, we've had between 1 and 3 wrestlers qualify for the state tournament. 28 out of 32. So that's, through the Ferrito years, the Greenlee years, the Francis years, that's a long time of, quality wrestling. So,
Absolutely.
we're definitely trying to live up to that legacy. Now, at the same time, last year was a total rebuild because our top 5 wrestlers in wins, none of those 5 had a previous varsity win at all.
Wow.
So, I don't know that we in our lifetime will ever see that statistic ever happen again.
Right.
Part of the reason is because kids like Noah here, Noah, and you look at the practice room, Noah was clearly our best wrestler last year, and he was injured for almost the entire season, essentially. So to have him back and healthy is an enormous plus for us. To get a healthy year out of a kid like Luke Valencic, who's a junior, that would be such a big thing for us, for him. He put in a lot of work this offseason, went to 3 camps, did some pre-sale training. And then, the youth movement, like you said, that's going to be where we really make the big gains. The current 8th grade class is enormous, and they have experience, and they're battle tested. So, and it only gets better from there. Yeah. Now going on too much more of a tangent. So this year is our first year. We'll have a girls wrestling team, varsity wrestling team, full schedule, all that. And we have Anai Welchins, who's going to wrestle for us. She's a freshman. Family lives in Kirtland. Great family. She wrestled for me in youth, her 6th grade year. And this spring, she finished as the champion in the state of Ohio in the freestyle and Greco-Roman state championships. Also won the most dominant wrestler award for her age division because she won with all techs and pins. And she went, with Team Ohio to the national duels. So really looking forward to having her with us.
Absolutely. I was going to say, it really sounds like the future's bright, just like you said last year in our media day interview. What I want to know is, how much did these kids improve from the start of the season when they had no experience until the end?
I honestly, I can't say enough about these kids. They exceeded, and when we had a really good coaching staff last year, and Jason Peck and Alex French and Jim Ayers, and they exceeded all of our expectations last year. They were so tough. You didn't hear the complaints. It was super hard, right? And especially when you don't know anything and you're thrust into the varsity lineup. And these kids really, answered the bell. We were, because they were so young, so new, we tried to be mindful of that and make the schedule be, we'll go to a really hard event like the Kenston tournament, and then we'll stagger it with like the Madison JV tournament. And that really, it worked out really well because the kids who were freshmen or had never wrestled before, stuff like that, those guys got the opportunity to wrestle kids, more experience wise on their level, or more physical maturity wise on their level, but also get the experience of getting pushed. Right. So it was it was good marriage between the two, but how much they have improved, I can't say enough. You got a kid like Howie Ayers. He's like a whole different wrestler right now. You got a kid like Brandon Oppenheim, just such a tough kid, such a hard worker. Noah probably he might have improved the most of any of the kids. Um, People don't even realize what they're going to be getting this year with Noah because he missed last season. Um, but just he's actually ready to go from a kid who is a freshman, didn't make it out of sectional, to now we all think he's going to make a big run at the district tournament. So.
Outstanding. All right, Coach, that's a good segue into talking to Noah. I'll come back to you after we do that. Noah, for the folks at home, why don't you introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle?
I'm Noah Connor. I am a junior for Kirtland, and I plan to wrestle 144 this year, but I could be going down to 138.
Okay, so coming in, you were banged up a lot last year. How tough was last year? Just seeing a squad that didn't have a whole lot of experience. So the success, wrestling is one of those sports where it's hard enough where if you're not having success, you don't need that extra stress. I mean, it's a tough sport. So how difficult was that just to kind of get through that year where everybody was just kind of getting their feet wet a little bit?
I think most of the varsity tournaments that they went to, they saw a lot of struggle going into it. But I think as we went to more JV tournaments, they found themselves getting more wins, and instead they got more confidence out of those wins. And I could see it during like our home duels, for example, where they were taking more shots than they would at beginning of the season compared to the end of the season. They were taking more shots on opponents.
With you just missing part of the season with injuries, how eager are you to get back on the mat?
I'm really ready to go back out there. I think I'm going to do well this year.
All right, and then just how much have you grown as a wrestler from when you started until where you're at right now?
I think I improved immensely. I think when beginning of ninth grade year, I didn't really know a lot. And even though I was injured my sophomore year, I think that's when I really learned the most, like multiple moves and like how to like compete more in our wrestling room and how to give it our all and how to push others.
Who are some of the guys on the team, or even some of the girls now that you've got some girls wrestling that are pushing you in practice, just making you a better wrestler?
Howie Ayers and Luke Valencic, I think they're really pushing me. Since they're a heavier weight class than me, I have to find new ways to finish shots and how to get around more and use more technique than for some guy who would be my weight.
All right, and what are your goals for the season?
I think my goal is to just like my main goal is to just stay healthy this season. Last season I was out for most of it, and so this season I just want to make sure that I'm healthy and prove myself.
Outstanding. Well, good luck to you this winter.
Thank
All
you.
right, Coach, back to you. We talked a little bit about some of the younger guys, but who has been impressive in the early part of practice and maybe in the off season?
Yeah, so we had a really good buy-in in the off season. You know, we had some kids try free. Probably we had as many kids doing freestyle this year, this past spring, as we've ever had, right? And that's always a big sign. Obviously, when you look at who those kids were and what grades they were in, it trended younger because this year it looks like we'll have only one senior, right? I mean, maybe we get some from football when the football season ends, and that'd be great. I'd love it. But right now it looks like we'll have one senior. So, you know, these juniors, when you think about it, they have 50% of their wrestling career still ahead of them. Like this is definitely things we're building for the future. Um, so you said who looks the best right now? I know Noah looks great. Luke looks markedly better than last year. I think athletically he looks great. Mentality wise, he's taken a step. He's very talented. Um, I think Preston White is a kid who probably physically matured, later than most, and he definitely looks like he has hit that, physical maturity to go along with the wrestling skills that are improving, and all those guys are back, right, and that really makes a big difference.
And then last one for you is obviously last year your expectations were just get some guys some matches, get a couple of wins. What are the expectations and goals for this season?
I would say this year, we have guys who are in better position to make a run, do damage at the end of the season, right? So our end of the season expectations certainly need to be beyond where they were last year. They absolutely should be. And these kids have worked enough where they deserve those expectations. They've earned those expectations. Overall, I would say as a wrestling coach in general, we always strive in this sport. Anybody who knows wrestling knows this. This sport is such a grind to do it right, right? If you don't if you cheat the grind, it will show up in your wrestling for sure.
Absolutely.
So the real trick is as a coach is to find that balance between um, pushing hard enough where you have success and also making it fun, or at least fun, yes, but like a positive experience for the kids. And some kids really feed off the fact that it's hard, right? And that definitely is a thing. Not all kids are going to feed off that it's hard, right? Some kids are going to resent that it's hard. So it's and that's where we're at right now too. Is like part of the rebuilding process isn't just like getting X, Y, and Z better. It's also marketing this thing to more kids, right? And that's probably, I mean, obviously, with this eighth grade class that's going to come up, it'll get better. With the next class, will get better because we have people already, you know, in the program. But overall, the goal is to make an experience that the kids, really are excited about, want to be there for, and can tell their friends, and hopefully get their friends to want to be involved with. And that's easier said than done, trust me.
For sure.
But that's the goal.
Absolutely. All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you and Noah taking some time out of your day to preview the season, and I wish you the best of luck on the mat this winter.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing well, man.
Thank you.